Not anymore. Yes, I was a broken woman. Yes, I didn't love me. Yes, I decided to settle for what wasn't best for me. Yes, I was in a toxic relationship. Guess what? Not anymore. I have grown from the broken pieces. I have learned to love me when no one else loved me. I have learned that I will never settle for in my life or my peaceful atmosphere. I have learned the difference between love, lust of a good relationship. Yes, I wasn't perfect, but I learned to work on my mind, my body, and my soul connections. Yes, I have allowed the wrong spiritual around me. Now I've learned about the not allowing the negative energy around me. Yes, I've been down the road of destruction. Now I've learned how to not move by emotion, but by the spirit of my faith and purpose. Not anymore, my fears will not keep me from being a better version of me. Not anymore, my toxicness will stop me from loving myself or trusting others in my peaceful place. Not anymore, my lack of post-trauma is going to stop me from my future growth. Yes, not anymore. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm overcoming. I know I'm a positive. I know I'm loved. And yes, not anymore. I'm dope. Dedicated to other people's empowerment. I love my dopeness and so should you. Empowering Your Voice is a TV show that will give you empowerment, inspiration, and definitely motivation. It's here to inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Empowering Your Voice is a platform that is going to inspire you to tap into the power that you hold, the purpose that you hold, and the mission that you are truly here in your mind to do. It's going to help you acknowledge who you are, what you are, and who you should become. Power. The power of worth, elevation, evolving, resistance. I pushed through the pain to get to the power. I keep going to get this power. I knew that it was given to me by grace and to know my purpose. You get pushed through this pain to get to this power. That tends to give a divine scar, but the power gives you reinforcement. Pushing past the pain to let your voice be heard. Pushing past your fears to let your voice be heard. How much faith do you know to overcome your fears? You have blessings to someone to hear. There's a message in your words. There's a power in your voice. Keep pushing through your pain to keep that power. I keep my faith over fear to have the power in my voice to be heard. You have the power. You are resilient and you have the strength. Your voice is powerful and you need to know that you're powerful. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that power, which is the power in your voice. Use it to stand by grace. Use it to know your worth and use it to be ready to show your knowledge. The power in your voice, a platform to be defined, which is inspiring, which is impeccable to give you knowledge, and which is a place for you to grow, to be walking in your purpose, being very amazing. The power in your voice. Hold on to that. Hello. Thank you for tuning in to Your Power in Your Voice. And today we have a special guest. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Your first name is Martha, but can you pronounce your full name?
My name is Martha Razzo. They don't have to roll the R's. It's okay.
Absolutely. So can you tell the people who you are and what you do?
So I'm a little bit of everything. I'm a serial entrepreneur from profession. I'm a mathematician. I'm an author. I'm an investor. So I do a little bit of everything because I love it all. A lot of people do ask me, just stick to one. I've tried it. So I'm going to keep up what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Can you tell me what made you become an author?
What made me become an author? We all have a story. And there is no story that's less important or less interesting or less inspiring. Everyone comes from a different background. And when we start hearing and actually listening to everyone's story, we'll be able to relate more to people and actually understand where they're coming from. And then there can actually be a connection or relationship to make something beautiful happen. But first, you need to hear that story. So I really believe that it's not just me. I think everyone should tell their story, whether it's in a book or whether it's in a different platform like a YouTube video or even a podcast.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Now, a lot of times we have authors that, like you said, don't tell their story. What advice would you give them to help inspire them to tell their story? Like what word of wisdom would you leave them to help them take that step?
I think everyone has that craving. Not everyone, but those people who want to be an author, they have that craving. They probably have piles and piles of pages already written. But you know what's missing? It's the reality that their story is valuable. And let me tell you right now that your story is valuable. There is no same story because there's nobody like you. So if you have that story and if you're like, oh, I'm tired, like I don't know if my story is good enough, then just start from scratch. Start from a blank page and start writing it out and then connect with the publisher. And if you need connecting with the publisher, I know a lot and I'm sure Shana knows a lot. So you have two people right here that can help you as long as you're like, I'm ready. Because I know you're ready. You just have to believe that your story is valuable.
Absolutely. So a lot of times, writing is therapeutic. What do you feel that you learned during your process of writing? What did you feel you learned about yourself?
You know, a lot of times we look at people and we admire them, right? And we hold them at the highest level. When you start writing your story and actually looking back at it, you are able to see, wow, this is how much I've done, but you never get to do it because you're hard on yourself. So I personally was able to look back at my achievements, the hard work, and the sacrifices. So I valued myself more. And I think that's what we need more as human beings is seeing our worth and our value and writing it and reading and looking it back puts it right in your face.
Yes, absolutely. So the title, what is the title of your book, and tell us what made you come up with the title and what is the message behind your book?
I am going to be super honest. So my book is called Business Diva. And when I was writing this book and when I was gathering the collaboration, so let me tell you first about the book and then I'll tell you my experience. So it's 22 women in business. It's a collaboration. They're women from all industries, different states. I mean, I have Texas represented, New York, of course, Illinois, Michigan. And it's the stories of each woman talking about their business and how they started business. And they actually give tips of what to do to be successful in business. So what I wanted to tell everybody is that I did not own the word business diva first. For me, when I was like, my book's called Business Diva. I was a little bit shy, but as I talk about it more on podcasts, interviews, even on TV, I'm like, yes, I'm a business diva. And guess what? I'm not the only one. There is 22. There's thousands and hundreds of them out there. So yes, I love my book. The title is so powerful, no, but it's so weak. It did take me a while to own up to it.
Absolutely. Congratulations on the 22 ladies that are in the book with you as well. So definitely. What is one thing, or shall I say, what is one key business gem you would like to leave with the people about come that will come out your book?
Um, they would be inspired. I think this is just for everybody, even for men, because it's called Business Diva, and you
Hmm.
probably presume that, oh, this is just for women. No, as soon as you start reading this book, you realize that you are limitless because every girl in my book comes from a different background. I mean, just one alone. She had a baby at 16, and a lot of girls think just because I had a baby so young, they think they ruined their life, and they can't do anything about it. Do you get me? But no,
Yeah.
you're gonna see all these stories, all the diversity and all the challenges that they face.
Mhm.
But they still are business owners. They're still following their purpose and they're successful in their own way. Because Success is not rated about how much money you make or how big your company is. It's about what is your purpose, what makes you happy and what fulfills you. And if you're fulfilling that, then you are successful. Do you get me?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, as we write too, we sometimes come upon challenges. What do you feel was one of your challenging moments, or maybe two, as you was doing this process with all these women?
Since I was a collaboration and I was leading this,
Hmm.
it was not even convincing. It was making these girls realize how worthy they are of telling their story. So constantly telling them and putting there in their face, like, hey, you did this and that. And they're like, oh, yes, I did. I'm like, yes. And this story needs to be heard. That was challenge number one. Challenge number two is that we're entrepreneurs, we're business women, so we get busy. I have my own child. I think you heard him in the background. How do you juggle business? How do you juggle business, work, and also a kid and all of it? And plus, write your story. So it was not only my challenge, it was every author's challenge. But if it means a lot and you really want to leave an impact and a legacy in this world, then you have to start writing and you have to start doing the steps to make this book a reality.
Absolutely. So, how did you feel when you found out that you was nominated for the D.A.G Awards?
I was excited. I'm like, oh my God, not only did I write a book, it's Amazon bestseller, but now it's going to receive an award. So I was very excited. Have you ever heard the expression husky excited?
No.
Have you seen when a husky, the dog husky, gets excited? They run back and forth. So that's how excited I was. I was like, yes! So it was like a husky running back and forth of the joy.
That is awesome, awesome, awesome. So tell me, what is your inspiration behind this book? Like what was your why on why you wanted to create this book? What inspired you?
My why. I love business. Business is one of my favorite things. For me, it's like a sport for me. So I'm involved in many businesses. And I realize that women are underrepresented. And even if they exist, they don't own up to it. So I'm like, okay, I need to start. And why do I just tell my story? I want other women's stories to be heard. So I want to fill that gap because there is a gap of women in business and representation and leadership roles alone, even in corporation. But you know what's the best way of having free time? The best way of tackling this is becoming a business owner because I can spend a lot of time with my kid and own my own time because I own a business. So yes, you don't have to be a business owner, but at least I want to introduce the idea to you. If it's not for you, it's okay, but be inspired that you're capable of anything that you believe and you put your mind into and your heart.
Absolutely.
The heart is important.
Yes, that is so true. Now I have a question. Did you write a chapter in this book as well?
I did.
So what was your chapter entitled and what was you
Let me
focused on in your
let me
chapter?
pull that out for you. I should know this by memory, right? My book chapter is called A Woman Leading in a Man's Industry. And I have a quote that I wrote here. You are the only one that can set your own limits. So make your future limitless.
That is a great quote. We all need that because a lot of times we set limits on ourselves and it stops us from being the greatest version of ourselves. So that is a great quote that you put in, and
Let's
the
say that
world needs
again
it.
in case they didn't get it. You are the only one that can set your own limits. So let's make your future limitless.
Yes. Now, since you have the book right now, can you read us a snippet from the book?
What can I read? Which one can I read? Let me read the advice, the business advice. Here. So I'll read about my advice for business. And since I'm a mathematician, I talk a lot about math. So, how Martha built a multi-million dollar company. Now, as I promised, what is the secret to business success? If you have a business idea in mind, Make sure it is what you love. Would you continue to follow this path if you did not get paid for it? Secondly, facts show that small businesses have a short life. Less than 30% of small businesses make it over the 10-year mark. What does this mean? That being passionate about your business is not enough to be successful. One of the main reasons businesses owners do not make the 3-year mark or the 5-year mark or even the 10-year mark is poor cash flow management. So what I say after that is make sure you understand your business numbers. We try to always make the excuse that, oh, we were not good at math. You don't need algebra or geometry. You just need understand common sense math. So don't make that an excuse and start learning that because even passion is not enough to be successful in business.
Absolutely. Now, do you have anybody that inspired you during your author career? You know, we all have favorite authors. Do you have a favorite author?
I like I don't have a favorite author per se, but I have a favorite artist,
Okay, well, you can say your favorite artist. That's fine.
a painter.
Okay.
Frida Kahlo. Have you heard of Frida Kahlo?
No.
Frida Kahlo is a Mexican artist who got paralyzed and she loved painting and she's actually very famous even in America. And she's a contemporary artist. And she got paralyzed in a bus accident. She couldn't paint, but she still kept painting with her mouth. She would use a paintbrush and she
Wow.
would paint. So why is her story so impacting? There's a lot of books about her.
Hmm.
What is really impacting is that she kept fighting. Even when she was not able to use her hands, even stand up, she kept fighting. So she kept doing what she loved. So this is what you have to do as an author. Keep fighting. Your story is worth it. Keep writing. Keep writing. Especially if you have your
Absolutely.
hands. Even if you don't have your hands, use a voice recorder.
Yes, and that's the truth. Like and those are the advice that people need to hear. That regardless of what their ailments may be or disabilities, they still can keep going. So thank you for sharing that with the people and the viewers that will view it later. What's next for you?
It's a lot. We're doing Business Diva 2. So Business Diva 2 is very similar to this book cover, but it's going to be red. Red is actually my favorite color. So if you want to be an author of Business Diva 2, the only thing you need to do is be in business. And second of all, believe that your story is worth it. If not, I'm going to convince you, okay? So if you're interested in being an author and start with a collaboration, I'm looking for authors for Business Diva 2. They can contact me. You can give them my cell phone or they can find me on Facebook.
Awesome, awesome. So, if you had a choice to change your genre, would you?
Change my what? My
Genre.
of my book?
No, well, just in because some of us is in nonfiction, some of us is in children and poetry. Would you change to a different genre?
No, I
Okay.
like telling the real stories.
And last but not least, can you leave the people with a positive message for the week and then tell them how to find you and how to connect with you?
Positive message, you are limitless. There is a galaxy of possibilities in this world. There is a solution to every problem. You just have to change your mindset. You can focus on the problem or you can start focusing on the limitless solutions. There are more solutions that there are problems. So start looking at life in a better lens because you're the only one that can control your mindset, no one else, because no one else is living in your mind. So be solution oriented instead of problem oriented. How can you get a hold of me? Facebook, LinkedIn, Martha Razzo, Martharazzo. You can find my book, Business Diva, on Amazon. It's Amazon bestseller. You can also text me or call me. Let me give you my cell phone. I'm going to say it 2 times. 312-523-5561. Once again, that's 312-523-5561. See you all soon. Hopefully you get my book.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Martha, for being on here. As always, this have been your host, Sheena Gadon of The Power in Your Voice. I thank you for tuning in, and we are always here to empower, inspire, and to bless you. Thank you, and y'all have a great night or great day. Life struggles. When life tries to fight you back, you have to be ready to fight back. You have to be ready to stand your ground and be able to
we learned that there are people that do not want to see you rise. They rather see you fall and be defeated. The strength that you carry is knowledge. Your knowledge is power. Be great in all you do.